Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you the poster that I've been working on for the Voyager. And I'm going to add a little bit more stuff, and I'm obviously going to color it. But I'm also going to be telling you guys today about the Voyager rewrite that I'm going to be doing. And it's basically going to expand upon the Voyager universe and story. It's going to be pretty sweet. But I'm going to be telling you guys about that, and I'll show you some conceptual drawings that I have from that. Okay, so here's the poster for the original Voyager that I made on YouTube recently. And as you can see here, we have like an old truck on this side and the book. And then there's the main character and the ship. And in the new Voyager that I'm writing, the main character is actually named, so he's Commander Johnson. I think I said Commander Lipke in the last one just because I wanted to come up with a name on the fly. But now that I've been able to sit down and think about it while I'm writing it, it's Commander Johnson. And then here we have the Sputnik, because it's another thing that shows that this civilization has their stuff based on the same time period as the 1950s Earth. The Voyager poster. I think it's pretty sweet. So here we have a diagram that basically expands the world building of the Voyager. And so here we have actually a space elevator. And on one side we have an atmosphere-based station where there's actually hydrogen tanks that act as a ballast. And on the other side we have a space-based station anchor. So here's the main station, and there's a smaller station in here, but it's mainly a space anchor that exists outside of the Earth's orbit. So this thing is massive. It's not to scale, but it's still huge. And this anchor exists outside of Earth's orbit, right? So the forces that act upon it are outer forces from other planets' gravitational pull. So forces pulling here, and then the gravitational forces of Earth pulling here, counteract and hold this station in the middle here. And the hydrogen ballasts are so that when the position in this orbit changes, the forces acting on this anchor also change because it's closer to different planets on a different position of its orbit. So what it does to compensate this is fill up or empty out its hydrogen ballast, which it makes by drawing oxygen up and splitting it up atomically. And then over here we have a similar type deal, just with the moon instead. And we'll get to the lunar base in a second. Oh, and on the anchor we actually have a solar array cluster, and there's solar arrays on either side. Here we have the main living quarters station in the middle, and on the outer section here are launch stations, 1 and 2. Next we come to the lunar base, because in my rewrite of the Voyager, what happens is Johnson starts on Earth. He takes a fusion turbine jet up to the Earth-based anchor of the station. He then takes the space elevator up into space and then launches from there to the moon. He waits on the moon until it is in the proper alignment with what I have now changed to Alpha Centauri, because we actually sent Voyager 1 to Alpha Centauri and Voyager 2 towards Andromeda. And Alpha Centauri is actually a solar system in our galaxy that's much, much closer. And the reason why I didn't have it like that at first was that when I was looking at the distances, I actually misread how far Andromeda was from Earth, and I thought it was 4 point something light years, but it's actually 4 point something million light years, when Alpha Centauri is 4 point something light years. And it's only a solar system, not a whole galaxy like Andromeda is. So it wouldn't be an intergalactic mission, but it would still take a very long time, and this is still very, very far in the future. I have to do some calculations on how far in the future it is based on time dilation, but I have a general idea. It should be around 30 to 40,000 years into the future. Anyways, this lunar base here is built into a crater, and it's actually built just outside of Tranquility Base. And the lunar lander is still there. I know it would maybe still not be there after 30 to 40,000 years, but in this it still is. And so that's actually part of the story, is before the mission, Commander Johnson goes out to the lunar lander to see what the original space pioneers had left behind. Anyways, I think this lunar base is pretty sweet. Most of the base is in this crater and then underground, so that when crafts are landing, when the lunar dust is sprayed all about, it doesn't sandblast all of the buildings or whatever's left on the surface. So that's why everything is kept underground, and any part that's exposed is covered by this super high resistance glass with a metal cage on the outside dome. And in the largest dome, you can actually see spare Lunar Express rockets. Now, there's 4 rockets on the base at a time. There's 3 in the chamber, and they rotate, kind of like a gun. So what would happen is, you have, let's say, one taking off, and then you have another one that will turn, and it will be loaded, and it will take off. And then let's say you have another one that lands, and then these doors will open, just like they would when it was going to take off. We'll bring it down, put it into the chamber, and turn the rocket, put a new one on, and launch it off. So you can always have rockets rotating in and out. And that's so that you can have ships coming in and going out constantly for either a resupply ship or more passengers. And here you see there is one building on the surface, and that's just so that you can get to the elevator down underground. And then here we have a satellite dish. And then there's Commander Johnson standing on the rim of the crater, because you can actually suit up and go on moonwalks, and that's why he goes over to Tranquility Base, is because he's going on a moonwalk before his mission, where he's going to have to be in his space capsule for a very long time. That's right, I said space capsule. In this version, I'm actually going to be using a space capsule, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I actually want to build a space capsule out of wood. I think that would be so awesome. It's going to be a Mercury-style capsule, because first of all, the Mercury capsules were tiny capsules. They say that you wore the space capsule. It was more of a suit than something that you would sit in. So it would be the most feasible to build because it would be the smallest. And I just think that the Mercury capsules look sweet. So I'm going to make it be a Mercury-style capsule. It's going to look like the Mercury capsule. But here's the propulsion system for the near light speed craft. It's going to use a matter-antimatter collision warp field combined with a nuclear fusion rocket. Here we have it flying around in Alpha Centauri, close to the planet that it's going to land on. And it lands like a conventional space capsule. And the space capsule that I build is going to be cool because I can actually put it in the back of my pickup, and I can haul it out to the beach and make it look like I have it washed up on shore. And I can come out of the space capsule in the spacesuit that I showed you guys earlier, and it will be sweet.